Hello and welcome to Peaky Boardgamer. My name is Tarakos and today I will introduce you to the game Kingdom Legacy, designed by Jonathan Fryxelius and produced by FryxGames. This is a legacy-type card game for one player that plays in about 6 hours. During these 6 hours, the player takes all sorts of decisions about expanding their kingdom. They will be discovering new lands, constructing and upgrading buildings, hiring persons, repelling enemies, etc. While playing the game, I felt this good book feeling that you just don't want to stop playing. Of course, you can't stop, you don't have to play it all at once, but on every round you gain 2 new cards added into your deck, and this makes you want to keep on playing for just one more round. I actually had to cancel what I've scheduled for the day because I wanted to see what's next in this extraordinary game. This is not gonna be a full how to play video. As I said, this is a legacy game. You'll be adding stickers on cards, writing on cards, destroying cards. I will simply guide you through the first rounds of the game, explaining the most basic rules, but I will not be spoiling any of the legacy elements. Let's start. When you open the box, you will find cards mainly, but also some stickers and a rule book. All cards are numbered from 0 to 139 and are placed in order. Cards from 0 to 70 are the main cards of the game. Once you reach card 70, the game ends. You tally up your score and you can go to the site of the game and register your score using this code so you can compare your score to other players. The remaining cards, 71 to 139, are cards that will be unlocked due to your decisions in the game or due to some of the cards' powers. So you can realize that some of these cards will not be accessed. Very important, you will never examine or reorder any of these cards unless instructed to discover them. You start the game by discovering cards 0 to 10. So these will be the only cards that you will take out of the box. After you discover cards, you can always examine them. This card here is a parchment card. When you discover parchment cards, you read information on them, apply any effects if applicable, and then you remove them from the game. The rest of the card are kingdom cards. These 10 cards will form your initial kingdom. Kingdom cards are distinguished by type, and this is shown from the colored banner in the top left corner of the card. There are many different types. We see here that we start the game with 8 lands, 1 building and 1 person. Most of these cards are split to many stages. This card, for example, has 1, 2, 3, 4 stages. You will usually access these stages by upgrading the cards. The initial stage when you discover cards is the one next to the card's number. So let's read the parchment and start. Welcome to Kingdom Legacy Feudal Kingdom. Make sure to read the rules before opening this pack of cards or scan the QR code below to watch a tutorial. The orientation of the cards in this game is important, so do not shuffle, rotate or flip the cards except when instructed by the rules. Make sure you get your QR readers out because this code will take you to a platform which, apart from tutorials, it has a full card library with all sorts of clarifications on each card. This really helped me through the entire game experience. So we will take our cards and shuffle them without flipping or rotating them. You place the deck in the left side of the table and you can now start your game. The game is played in rounds. Every round ends once all your kingdom cards are placed in your discard pile on the right side of the table. Every round is also split in turns. You start the turn by placing the top 4 cards from your deck into the play area. Cards in your play area are the only cards that you can use, and you can use them in different ways. One of the most basic uses of a card is to produce its resources depicted in the top left corner. There are many different resources in the game, but in this turn, the only resources that can be produced is gold and wood. To produce the resources of a card, you must discard the card, so now I have gained 1 gold. There are no resource components, you must remember how much resources you have. The next most important action in the game is upgrade. In Kingdom Legacy, you will mostly be upgrading your cards so that you reach to more valuable stages. If your cards can be upgraded, then they will depict one of these upgrade cost symbols next to an arrow showing the direction of the upgrade. So, if I spent 2 stones, I could flip this card to the other side and this would be the applicable stage. However, it doesn't seem that I can get the 2 stones. The other 2 cards can be upgraded by spending 2 gold. So it seems that if I produce 1 gold with one of the cards, I could upgrade the other one. The next stage of the distant mountain depicts a stone resource, and it seems that stone is quite important. So I will upgrade this card. After upgrading a card, the card goes straight to your discard pile. Very important! Upgrading a card also ends your turn immediately, so any other cards left in your play area will also be discarded. We now move to the next turn, and how do we do that? We simply draw the next 4 kingdom cards from our deck. Let's see now what we can upgrade with these cards. We see now that 2 of our cards depict an ability in their bottom. As an action, you can use these abilities. When these abilities depict this symbol with a tick, it means that we need to discard the card in order to apply its effect. Doing so will not end your turn. However, some other abilities which depict this symbol force you to end your turn after you use them. The trader says that you can spend 1 gold to gain 1 wood. So basically, I would have to discard the trader, so I can discard 1 gold, and now I would have 1 wood. However, it doesn't seem that I need this wood right now. The forest also has an ability that enables me to gain 3 wood and then downgrade this card to this stage. When you change the stage on a card because of an effect, will not end your turn. Let's examine this card further. After we have cut down our forest, we can re-upgrade it on the following turn to make it a forest again. When a forest is upgraded, it is flipped to this side and is turned into a sacred well. On the other hand, if you cut down the forest, you can still upgrade it to a lumberjack. So some of the cards have a split upgrade path. The easiest card to upgrade seems to be the wild grass that requires 2 gold. I have 2 gold, but if I discard the card to gain its gold, then I won't have it to upgrade it. So, currently, I cannot upgrade anything. I would need 1 more gold card. I see that the next card in my deck produces gold. Remember that you can never examine your entire deck. You can only see what's coming next. When you cannot upgrade one of your cards or do not wish to, you can either pass, discard all the cards from your play area and end the turn, or you can perform the advance action. When you advance, you take the next 2 cards from your deck and add them in your play area. You can perform this action any number of times, provided you have enough cards in your draw deck, until you are able to upgrade a card. As you can understand, however, you don't want to lose much time to upgrade a specific card unless you are desperate to upgrade it. So now I have enough gold to upgrade any one of my wild grass cards or even the trader. If I upgrade the trader, its power will become a bit better. I will be able to trade the gold to gain either a wood or a stone. I will also gain 1 victory points at the end of the game. However, I will choose to discard 2 gold, gain 2 gold, and upgrade one of the wild grasses. I have upgraded the card, so all cards will move to the discard pile. We now move to our next turn. If we cannot draw 4 cards, then we draw as many cards as we can. If there are no cards, then this means that the round is over. At the start of every round, you discover the next 2 cards from the box. So now I discover card 11 and card 12. This is a good opportunity to examine your new cards. Let's examine River together. River grants me 1 gold, but if I upgrade it, it will become a bridge and I will also gain 2 victory points. If I spend 3 stones, I will create a stone bridge which will grant 4 victory points instead of 2. If I further upgrade to the last stage, explorers will be able to cross the bridge and discover new regions for me. So if I ever reach this stage and use this power, I will take cards 71, 72, 73 and 74 from the deck, examine them, choose one to discover, and then the explorers would downgrade back to a stone bridge. So if I upgrade them again, I can reuse them and discover another one of these cards, and so on and so forth. When you discover new cards during a round, these discovered cards move straight to your discard pile. You will access them in the following round. At the moment, this is the situation. I will add these new cards to my discard pile, shuffle the deck without rotating or flipping the cards, and start the next round. Let's draw the 4 next cards from the deck and see what we have. Okay, we have got the rocky area we upgraded in the last round. So now we have access to 1 stone at least. The headquarters require way too much stone. The forest requires 2 stones to be upgraded and I only have 1, but the power of the rocky area enables me to spend 1 gold and then gain 2 stones. So I could upgrade the forest into a sacred well. And what's this power? The sacred well enables me to discover a shrine, 82 or 83 card. The difference with the explorer we saw earlier is that the sacred well will be destroyed as indicated by this symbol. So I will actually replace my sacred well with a shrine. However, I don't think I'm gonna do it because I will sacrifice a lot of wood potential and I will not know what this shrine offers until I discover it. I think I will try to upgrade the rocky area because by doing so the card will offer 2 stones instead of 1. This requires 2 wood and 2 gold. I will discard these 2 cards for the 2 gold and then I will downgrade this forest to gain 3 wood. So this card is now upgraded and this also ends my turn. If you have any resources remaining, these are lost when the turn ends. Let's start our next turn. Okay, we've got the river card, which is one of the new cards we saw earlier, and I like the idea of upgrading this card to the explorer stage as soon as possible. To upgrade it to the next level, it requires 3 wood. I have another forest that I will choose to downgrade as well in order to gain these 3 wood. As you can see, these destroyed woods will become a problem because they produce nothing at this stage. But if I upgrade them, I can make them a lumberjack, which will get me 2 wood in the future. This is something I will definitely need to do. So, the river has become a bridge and the turn is again over. Let's move to the next turn. What I have here is the other distant mountain, which is a source of stones once upgraded. However, I think I prefer to upgrade the plains card, as this is one of the basic gold producing cards. If I upgrade it, I will be gaining 2 gold instead of 1. And if I further upgrade it into food barns, it will also worth 3 victory points at the end of the game, but it will also stay in play. What this means is that once this card enters the play area, it will not be discarded at the end of the turn unless used. Most importantly, cards that stay in play do not affect the number of cards you draw at the beginning of every turn. So I will be drawing 4 more cards and start the turn with 5 cards. However, it requires 3 gold to be upgraded and I can only get up to 2. However, I prefer to go to the direction of gaining more gold, so I will choose to discard these 2 cards for 2 gold in order to upgrade the other wild grass into plains. This will end the turn, and since there are no more cards in the draw deck, round 2 also ends. So I take the box and get cards 13 and 14 out of it. Okay, we have 2 new types of cards. Red cards are enemy cards with negative effects. All other types of cards are friendly cards. The effect of the plains requires to discard a friendly card to gain 2 gold, so I would not be able to discard the bandit and gain the 2 gold. We can also see that the bandit will count as -2 victory points as long as we have it in our deck. The rest of the effects, I will explain them when we draw the card. About this card now, you cannot see it clearly, but in the top of the card there is this illustration. When you discover such a card, you must choose the side that will be applicable for the rest of the game. The effect of the field worker says that I can choose a land that is in play and gain its production as resources. The other side is a servant, and when I use this servant, I can either gain a gold, a wood or a stone. I think I will choose to go with the field worker. So I will add it to my deck, shuffle it, and now I'm ready to start my next round. Let's draw the top 4 cards. Now I have drawn the quarry, which can produce 2 stones, but I have no card to spend it on. In the top of my draw deck, I see the felled forest, which actually is a wasted card at the moment. It requires stone to be upgraded, so maybe it's a good idea to try and upgrade it now. So I will advance, thus get the next 2 cards from my deck. To upgrade the card, I need 1 stone, 2 gold and 1 wood. Fortunately, the power of this jungle card can supply me with the wood I need. So I produce with a quarry 2 stones, I discard these 2 cards and gain 2 gold, and the ability of this jungle enables me to convert the gold I will gain after producing from this card into a wood. So I have enough resources to flip the felled forest, and now I have a lumberjack, which is a very good supply of wood and victory points. Make note that our land has just turned into a building. I have upgraded the cards, so the turn ends, and we'll continue to the next turn by drawing 4 cards. We have just drawn the bandit card. The bandit has an immediate red effect that you cannot avoid. It always happens at the moment the card enters the play area. It says, when played, blocks 1 card with gold production. So I must choose one of my 2 gold cards and block it. While blocked, the card cannot be used in any way. I will choose to cover the bridge card because it requires 3 stones and I don't think I'll be able to produce that much stone. On the card there is some more information about how you can get rid of the bandit. One way is to spend 1 sword to defeat the bandit. In this case, the bandit card will be destroyed, torn apart, and I will gain any 2 resources. The other way is by the power of a missionary. I do not even know what a missionary is yet, but I have seen a sword somewhere. For now, the bandit attacks me. I can do nothing with the rest of the cards, so I must either advance or pass and lose all of my cards. I will choose to advance. Now here's where I've seen this sword. If I upgrade my headquarters, I will gain access to a sword resource. So if the town hall and the bandit are in play at the same time, I'll be able to defeat and get rid of this bandit forever. Apart from gaining the sword resource, the ability of this card makes it really unique. You can search your entire discard pile, find a land card and add it back into your play area. And after you further upgrade it, you can even search for a building card. And if you upgrade it to the final stage, you can bring back any card. A lot of cards have synergies, they work together, but in order to do this you must have both of the cards in your play area at the same time. As your deck of cards grows, this becomes more and more difficult, so you can realize the importance of this card. The only card I could upgrade at the moment is the wild grass. However, there are just a few cards remaining in the draw deck, so I will choose to advance once again in case I can do something better. Here is the other destroyed forest that I have. I would like to upgrade this one, however I don't know how I could find the stone. I think that this is a good opportunity to upgrade the plains. It requires 3 gold. I have only 2, but I can use the field worker and choose any one land in play to gain its production. So by discarding the field worker, I can choose the wild grass and gain 1 gold. Then discard these 2 cards and gain another 2 gold. So I can now upgrade the plains into farmlands. Now this card can produce 2 gold. I have upgraded the card, so all of these cards are discarded and the round ends again. Now cards 15 and 16 enter my kingdom. Oh no, another bandit appears. I must soon find a way to get rid of these bandits. The only way I'm currently aware of is by upgrading my headquarters, and this needs a lot of stone, so I must head towards the direction of upgrading cards that grant me more stone, like this distant mountain card. Let's place these cards into the kingdom and shuffle the deck to create a new one. Here's the distant mountain, and I will choose to upgrade this card by spending these 2 cards to gain the 2 gold, because this card will be granting me stone. This ends my turn. Let's draw 4 new cards. Here's the headquarters. I cannot upgrade it, so this means that I will not be able to destroy bandits in the next round as well. As it seems, I cannot upgrade anything. A bandit is approaching, but I think I will choose to advance. I don't think I'm ready yet to upgrade my headquarters, so I will choose the bandit to block my headquarters. I have here the other felled forest, which is useless at the moment. I could advance some more and then upgrade it into another lumberjack, or upgrade it now into a forest again. I also have the bridge that can get me these explorers, but again I'm not ready for such an upgrade. Let's put the jungle card under the microscope. This is a card that mainly produces wood. More wood, and in its final stage it grants gold as well as wood, and the card stays in play. Let's advance some more and see what happens. Oh, the other bandit shows up. This has to block a card with gold production. I will choose to block this one. This turn seems to be dragging too much. I need to advance again. It seems that bandits are damaging my gold production. Since I'm not gonna get rid of them anytime soon, I must probably increase my gold production. So I need to upgrade this card. I require 2 gold. The field worker will produce 1 gold from this card, the second gold will come from this card, so now I can upgrade my card and the turn is over, of course. There are just a few cards remaining on the deck. These are 2 of my very good cards, and unfortunately they appeared at the end of the round. I can do nothing with them, so as an action I have to choose to pass. The round ends, and I gain cards 17 and 18 from the box. Some new cards appear. Hills and cliffs. Cliffs produce stone. That's good news because I need stone. Again we have here a card that has a split path. If I spend 3 stone, I can upgrade it into walls, which also grant me a sword. And also it stays in place, so it can wait until one of the bandits appear and kill him. The other way is to spend these steel, I don't know how I can find steel, in order to have a smithy, which always produces a steel, and I can reset the card to discover jewelry, card 90 from the box. When an effect asks you to reset a card, it means that the card is reset back to the initial stage, which is the stage beneath the card's number. Oh, and after the smithy, if I spend these goods, I can make it an arsenal, which produces steel, and I can gain 1 sword for each person in play. I can have an army. So it seems like we can have more ways of destroying these bandits. Hills are first upgraded into a chapel. And if you spend 3 gold with the effect, you can discover a missionary. If I remember correctly, we can use a missionary to turn a bandit, as we saw on the bandit card earlier. The chapel can be upgraded into a church, and then you gain access to priests, and then it can be upgraded into a cathedral, which produces 1 gold, but an additional gold for every person which is in the play area. Let's add these cards into the deck, shuffle it, and let's continue with the next round. So, let's start our turn. We draw the top 4 cards. We have drawn the bandit. We need to place it on a card that produces gold. I will choose that one, produces only 1 gold. I cannot do anything else, so I'm gonna advance by drawing another 2 cards. I can now upgrade either the plains or the jungle. I will choose to spend 3 coins, 3 gold, and upgrade the plains into wild grass, so the turn ends. Let's proceed with the next turn. Here's the bridge that requires 3 stones to be upgraded, and I can currently produce 3 stone. I will choose to do so, and now the bridge has become a stone bridge. This ends my turn, and I proceed with the next one. Now we have drawn another bandit, but luckily we did not draw any card producing gold. The effect says when played, so since there is no valid target, the effect is forfeited. At this moment we should clarify that all cards that are drawn at the beginning of the turn or when you advance enter the play area simultaneously. So it doesn't matter if you drew the bandit first. After you draw all 4 cards, if there is a card producing gold in the play area, then the bandit will block it. At this point, I will prefer to advance. I will use my field worker to produce 1 gold from this card, and I will also produce with this card, so I have 2 gold and 2 wood, which is enough to upgrade this card into a quarry. This will end my turn. Let's move to the next turn. I only have 2 cards left, and unfortunately with these cards I can only pass. The round ends and I discover card 19 and card 20. This is another forest with no forests, and this is a swamp which initially does not produce anything. I will add the cards to my kingdom, shuffle all the cards and create a new deck. Let's start with the next turn. I got now the Felled Forest, which is still a useless card. I can now upgrade one of my wild grasslands or wait for a stone and maybe be able to upgrade the hill card into a chapel. Let's see if we'll be lucky. Unfortunately, I did not get a card that produces stone. A bandit is coming, but I have way too many cards that produce gold, so the plan of upgrading one of these 2 cards is not yet spoiled. Let's advance once again. I will block the wild grass with a bandit. Unfortunately, I am still lacking a stone resource. However, I got this swamp card, which again is useless, so maybe it's a good idea to upgrade this one. Let's examine the swamp card. Once upgraded, you still get nothing in terms of production, but the card will worth 1 victory point at the end. And what happens if I upgrade it again? I gain a swamp garden that produces 1 gold and will worth 3 victory points. In its final level, this card produces 2 trade goods. I don't know what these trade goods are good for yet. I really don't like my upgrade options, so I'm gonna go for another advance. Let's see if we are lucky now. Oh, we got the stone bridge, so we can finally upgrade it to explorers and hopefully start discovering new regions in the next round. So I will use these 2 cards to produce and upgrade the card to explorers. All of the cards are now discarded. Let's draw another 4 cards. With these cards I could upgrade the trader, but hey, the top card on our deck is our headquarters and I think I'll be able to upgrade it this time. I choose to advance to get the card into our play area. I need 3 stones and 1 wood. I will use the field worker to produce 2 stones from this card, so I get another 2 stones by producing from the card. I have 4 stones. I will produce with the plains, so now I also have 1 gold, and I will use the power of the trader to convert this gold into the wood I require. So I have enough resources to construct our town hall. These cards are now discarded. Let's draw the next 4 cards. The bandit again has no target to attack, but unfortunately we cannot afford to upgrade any of these cards, so I think I will pass and end the round. Let's add cards 21 and 22 into our kingdom. This is another swamp. We know that swamps can produce trade goods in their final level. We have no use for these yet, so For now, these cards are quite useless. Let's examine the lake card. Again, this card has a split path. We can either turn it into a lighthouse, which stays in play, and you can discard the top card of your deck, if you like, so maybe avoid an enemy which is on top of your deck, and grants you 5 points as well. The symbol of infinity you see next to some of these abilities means that the card is not discarded after you perform these abilities. So after this card enters play, it might help you avoid enemy cards that appear on top of your deck. And since the card stays in play, it will protect you for the rest of the round. The other path is to first upgrade it into a fisherman's cabin, which can produce a gold, and then it can be further upgraded into a fishing boat. It produces 2 gold, and you can also discover the shore. Let's add them into the deck and start the next round. Another bandit with no target, but also some useless cards. Let's advance. Great, we drew the town hall, so we can attack the bandit and get rid of it. When you do so, you also gain 2 resources of any type. I think I would gain steel as these 2 resources, and I also have stone. If I find 1 wood, I will be able to upgrade the cliffs into a smithy, which will help me discover the jewelry next round. I can use the power of the jungle to convert 1 gold into 1 wood, but I have no gold at the moment. It seems that by advancing, I will gain a card producing gold, and that's exactly what I will do. So first, I produce with my town hall to gain the sword, and I will use it to attack the bandit. As this symbol on the card indicates, you normally have to destroy the card. However, as you will soon see, until you discover card 23, you can still reset the game and start over. So for now, I will set the card aside. Now I also gain 2 bonus resources for killing the bandit. I will choose them to be 2 steel. I produce with a quarry and gain 2 stone, and with a distant mountain and gain 1 gold. I will use the power of the jungle and convert this 1 gold into a wood, so I have all that I need to upgrade the east cliffs into a smithy. All remaining cards are now discarded. Let's continue with the next turn. I would love to upgrade the felled forest now. I have the 2 gold and another gold that the trader can convert into wood. Should I advance in hope of getting the stone that I need? Or should I produce 3 gold and upgrade the trader? I will risk it and advance. Yes, we got the stone. So I produce 3 gold. I use the power of the trader and now I have 2 gold and 1 wood. I also produce 2 stone and now I upgrade this card into a lumberjack. The turn is now over. Oh, this is bad luck. I drew the explorers, but unfortunately they are going to be attacked by the bandit, so I cannot use them to discover a new region. With the remaining cards I can do nothing more, so I will choose to advance. I will produce 2 wood and 1 gold, and I will upgrade this swamp into an accessible swamp. Still useless, but awards 1 victory point. All the cards are now discarded. Only 2 cards remaining. Unfortunately, I can only pass. End of the round. I draw the next 2 cards. Oh, it's a parchment card. Let's read it together. It says, stop. Now that you have got the hang of the game, you may reset to start again if you like, to give it your best shot. Next round you will discover 4 cards, cards 24 to 27. Look at them now and then decide if you want to restart or continue. After this card comes the legacy part of the game, where some cards will permanently change in the course of the game. You will not be able to reset the game once you continue down this road. At this point, I need to stop this playthrough and let you discover the rest of the game on your own. And these were the most important things you need to know before starting playing Kingdom Legacy. After you complete the game, there are 3 cards leading to 3 built-in expansions that add more content to this game experience. This was the video for today. I hope you liked it. If you like our videos and want to see more, please subscribe to our channel, and until next time, have fun and play more board games.